Hey, my name is Chad Pritchard, and this is Pizza and Politics. We're here at Fat Daddy's Pizzeria in Provo, my pizza shop. We are a working pizza shop, so we may have phone calls. We may have people walking in. We may have all kinds of things during this interview. I'm here with my good friend Jeff Birmingham, who is running for governor of the state of Utah.
That's right.
And we're gonna make some pizza.
This is like reality TV at its finest.
I don't know its finest.
You don't know what's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah. So this is our apron, standard cook's apron. There you go. It's got some spots on it. That's all right.
Where's the Governor Birmingham apron?
I was thinking of making a pizza called the Jeff Birmingham and pineapple pizza.
Okay, that's fine with me.
There you go. We're making pizza. What are you making today?
I heard the last guy made traditional pepperoni.
Made pepperoni.
That's totally status quo.
Made pepperoni. It's my favorite.
That's status
pizza,
quo.
I'm gonna say. Pizza, cheese, and pepperoni.
We've got
my favorite.
fresh mozzarella.
Fresh mozz.
We've got mushroom, salami, pepperoni, and zesty
green olives.
Green olives.
Right, that's bold.
That's bold.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our dough here. All you gotta do is stretch that out. We're gonna put it on the screen there. There you go. Yeah. See if you can get that going. You grew up in this area, if I remember correctly. Or
if the governor thing doesn't work out, do we have a chance at a Food Network show here? Am I doing this right?
Not like that, you don't.
Oh, no. What do I need to do? Like this?
Let me help you out here.
Hey, is it doing okay?
It's all right, but you're stretching too much from the middle, so we want to stretch it from the edge.
From the outside here. Let me try that.
There you go.
Okay.
Or you're gonna make it too thin in the middle. Yeah.
I got it.
All right, I think we're good. Let's throw that down. Let's see if we can fix it up here.
Yeah, we got it.
There you go.
I grew up in Spokane, Washington, but I met Sally at BYU.
Okay.
We lived in Provo our entire adult lives.
Really?
Yeah, we've tried to leave a couple times, but I've been starting businesses, as you know, and it's just never been the right time to leave. And
so tell me about that, because you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And you made like $1 gazillion as an entrepreneur.
I've never said that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just.
Hey, I started with nothing. I'll tell you that.
You've been very successful.
Yeah, we've been successful, but I started with nothing. I'm the oldest of 6 children. I started financially with nothing. In fact, my first startup was a little carpet cleaning company in Spokane, Washington, so that I could do travel basketball tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah. So I started mom and pop and small. The first scalable business was a technology company at BYU. It was a web and brand integrator for business. When I was 25 years old, I sold that company to a NASDAQ listed firm, a publicly traded company. It was a really cool experience. It was a fun experience. I learned a lot. And then spun the proceeds into real estate. This is in 2003, 4, 5. Real estate was really good. But what I recognized is that the appreciation we were seeing in the market was not sustainable.
Sure.
So I sold the assets that I owned, brought the capital back home, and stood up a real estate investment firm called Peak Capital Partners. And we started in a little corner office like this, me and my 2 partners back to back, and we didn't know if we'd make it. We didn't make money for a couple of years, 0. In fact, these are 2 Ivy League MBAs, my partners. One of them moved in with his in-laws. The other started receiving groceries on his doorstep.
Oh, wow.
To make it.
And I heard that you actually bought your first desk at a DI.
We did, yeah. We actually got some DI furniture and started. That was at my technology startup, actually, at BYU.
So that inspired me. So we went out and bought 2 desks, hoping that we can be at least doubly successful.
I'm sure that's how it works. I'm sure you can be. Fat daddies.
That's right.
But when we turned it around quite significantly. Like you said, we've created thousands of jobs here in Utah, and we own a lot of real estate assets, and have also now invested in most of the technology companies at the point of the mountain at Silicon Slopes.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yep.
So, as governor,
is this too much? Is this the right amount of sauce?
If that's what you want, man, that's your deal.
Cam?
So, if you were, we had this last. I mean, it's a mess, but I mean.
It looks good, doesn't it? Well,
it looks great.
You never look at your sauce before you eat pizza, do you? I don't.
I mean, I do, but I'm a pizza guy.
You do?
But that's what I do for a living, so I always judge the sauce to cheese. I would take it out just a little further to the edge.
And you use that to roll it out?
Oh, yeah, just like that. See, you
had
the right amount. You just had to redistribute it, right?
Yep.
Speaking of redistribution, we had a tax bill this year.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. It ended up being kind of a mess.
Yes. Fresh mozzarella.
Fresh mozzarella. It's delicious stuff.
It's delicious, good stuff.
And you opposed that bill. Most of the candidates, I believe all the candidates opposed that bill.
Some sooner than others.
So tell me why you opposed that bill and why you think it was such a bad bill.
Well, a year ago, they were talking about taxing business inputs. Why do it's never a good idea to tax business inputs.
Sure.
Like, why does a small business owner want that? Like, that is the golden goose of our economy. Entrepreneurs like you, Chad, have created the most diverse economy in the country here in Utah. It's about the people of Utah. It's not about the government.
Sure.
And so why do we want to slow down the people? I never want to slow down the people. So a year ago when we were talking about that, I didn't like it. Then the tax bill changed quite a bit. It morphed. It got better, by the way, I believe. And we have great legislators, hardworking and smart. But still in the end, I didn't love it. I didn't love that it taxed food. That's a very regressive tax. I fear that our country and our state is becoming more and more a state of haves and have-nots. I didn't like that about the latest bill. But a lot of it was also about the process.
Sure.
If I were governor, whenever you're changing taxes, it has to be totally transparent. This process was not transparent, number one. Number two, we need to simplify our tax code, not complicate it. And in this tax reform, we were talking about prebates, rebates. We need to simplify the tax code, and this was not simplifying it. And then lastly, we do not have a revenue problem in the state of Utah. Hard-working entrepreneurs like you have ensured that we don't have a revenue problem.
Sure.
Our politicians have also ensured, though, we have a spending problem. We keep spending more and more. The state budget's grown over 30% in the last 5 years. Did you know that? 30%.
I did.
$3 billion. That's because you're an informed pizza guy. You're like a quasi.
Oh, I don't know about all that. I'm just a pizza guy.
I don't know. Has your income increased 30%?
Well, no, but I will say that a lot of people are saying our budget has increased because we have massive growth in Utah. As governor, what would you do to ensure that, number one, our growth doesn't stop, because growth is an important part of any economy in any state, and number two, you probably want to put another piece of cheese right there and one right there.
Okay.
You don't have to, but
no, I trust the expert.
What do we do to ensure that our growth doesn't stop? And number two, what do we do to ensure that our growth is funded correctly? Because what we don't want to do is end up in a position where we have massive amounts of growth and people here, but we don't have enough funds, or the funds aren't distributed correctly, so we're not being able to pay for
That's for sure.
basic infrastructure and things like that.
Thank goodness that no governor can stop us from growing. There is no politician. There is no governor. Guess what? We live in Utah. We like to have kids. We love our families.
Sure.
That is the root of our society, and we love our children. We have big families. We are growing. We are the youngest state in the country. So there is no governor, there is no politician that will stop Utah from growing. Utah is going to continue to grow. But here's something we can do to not add to our problems. And that's good, by the way. That's good. That's organic, internal growth. It's good growth. Not all growth is good. Like, there could be some growth on this pizza that's not good, right?
But
I think it's going to be delicious and good. Here's the kind of growth that's not good. And something that we've used, the playbook that we've used in Utah is not going to keep us on top any longer. And one of those plays that we've used repeatedly is tax incentivized growth. So we've incentivized out of the state companies to come in with tax incentives so they would come here. That is not a smart plan for the Wasatch Front. We've been using that for a decade or more. It is not going to keep Utah on top. And what it does is it increases classroom sizes. It causes our transportation corridors to be more clogged. Our air stays bad. Affordability for houses.
Sure.
One of the reasons I'm running for governor is the young entrepreneurs I was investing in would come to me and say, Jeff, I can't find an affordable place to live. Like, I can't find anywhere to live. It is hard to find a first home. That is because our supply and demand curve is out of whack, and a lot of that is because tax incentivized growth. Now, it looks good for politicians to say, like, hey, I'm here with Chad at Fat Daddy's, I brought him here. But it's not good for the people to tax incentivize growth here. Entrepreneurs like you have this on lock. We have got the economy nailed down, and that's my opinion.
Well,
that's my feeling.
Speaking of entrepreneurs, my daughter Maddie is back here, and she has a question. Why don't you come up here?
What's up, Maddie?
She's an aspiring entrepreneur herself. So my daughter Maddie.
Maddie. Hello. What's up?
And Maddie is a junior at Orem High, and she is in the welding program, and she works here with me she cooks here at the pizza shop, and she's an aspiring entrepreneur, and she's got a question about about
Welding and
entrepreneurs.
cook. You could probably combine those in a super cool way.
Probably. I mean, everything you kind of see is welded. This is welded together, so
That's
welding
awesome.
is a bunch in different places. But I was wondering how entrepreneur and how that would progress and how you would help young entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs throughout the state. Or
Yeah, that's a great question. My son Truman's a sophomore at Timview, and he has his own business. It's on Instagram at True Drip. What he does is he buys custom Nikes. He loves basketball, and then he paints them for people. It is critical that we continue to grow the entrepreneurial base in Utah. And let me tell you, a political outsider is much more inclined to do that. Economic development, creating jobs, creating businesses is not theoretical to me. I haven't just learned about it in books. I've done it in my life. I've helped create thousands of jobs here in Utah. And so I think if we have a governor who's been an entrepreneur, it will only encourage young entrepreneurs like yourself to continue to strive for your dreams. And that's really what we need. And that's why we'll continue growing, because of entrepreneurs like Maddie and
Absolutely.
Truman that have great new ideas, that are working on those ideas and continue to grow our economy. Government doesn't create jobs. You know that, right, Maddie? Entrepreneurs like yourself create jobs. And so we need to have entrepreneurs continue to flourish here in Utah.
Well, there we go.
I did all this.
That's right.
Chad, that wasn't you.
That was all Burningham.
Yeah, that's what politicians do. They take credit, so.
And so
This is maybe a little too freewheeling.
No way, man. I like it. Our state in Utah, we have a lot of land that's owned by the federal government.
Yeah.
We've been fighting for years to try and get some more control of that. They've put a lot more restrictions on it. We've gotten some restrictions back out of it. And one of the reasons that we have such a hard time is that so much of our land is owned by the federal government, it's not taxable. As governor, how would you address the issues of the fact that our land in our state, our sovereign state, is owned, the biggest landowner is the federal government?
Yeah, that's super frustrating. You and I both know that the land is the basis of every economy. Every job, every business springs forth from the land. So if you don't own your own land, it is really hard to get on top. I'm an entrepreneur. I've never run for political office before. I've been politically active, but haven't run. A year ago, I started considering this and going all around the state. The biggest thing that I was most surprised about were the struggles in rural Utah. We're all one Utah.
Sure.
And we can go an hour south of here, and the economy, I'm going to Carbon County right after this. The economy is very different there. We need economic diversification in our rural counties. I plan to represent rural Utah. Rural Utah needs a fighter in their corner, and I intend to be that fighter. And part of that is pushing back on our public lands. It's right after Super Tuesday when we're recording this. We have a very unique and interesting and singular president. I think that he will be the president for 4 more years. I hope he will be. And I think there's an opportunity with a strong federal delegation and a strong governor. That is the magic of television.
There you go, right
people.
there.
That is the magic
That's
of
it.
TV, reality TV.
You made this. We didn't make this ahead of time. I
I
tell
know,
you.
it's delicious.
This is the one. Yours isn't sitting right there going in the oven right now.
But let me just finish. With the strong federal delegation and a strong governor, we can push back on our public lands issues, and I think we can make progress for rural Utah. Again, I intend to be a fighter for rural Utah. We're all one Utah. If you like to eat, and we both do, most people in Utah do, if you like power, we better like rural Utah, because a lot of our food and power comes from rural Utah.
So a little lighter. I understand that you're a big. You talked about your son loving basketball, and I understand. I see that you're a pretty big basketball player yourself.
Yep.
But
I'm a short basketball
You're pretty
player.
Short.
But I guarantee I can shoot the lights out still.
Can you? Or
Yes.
do you just,
Yes, Chad.
We've talked about how successful you are financially. Do you just pay the other team to let you win?
No.
Because I would, because I'm terrible at basketball.
I went to one ward ball game this year because I've been traveling around for everything. 15 3-pointers in one. That's a true story.
Man.
You can ask my neighborhood. I love basketball. I try to play as much as I possibly can. I like running up and down. I like shooting. I grew up in Spokane. I grew up playing actually with John
Gonzaga,
Stockton.
yeah.
When he would lose out of the playoffs, I was on a high school all-star team. We scrimmaged Gonzaga during the summer, the college team.
Sure.
John would come in with his green bag, gold straps, sit down on the bench, strap on his shoes, and just sub in, not say a word, never shoot. So I love basketball. I'm excited. It's March. I love March
Who do you
Madness.
think's gonna Who do you think? I mean, they haven't announced who's going to be in the tournament yet, but we kind of have some people who we know who are going to be in it. Who do you think is going to take it this year?
Well, I love Coach Pope, and I love the Cougars. Like I said, I met Sally and I at BYU.
It's going to be a Cinderella season.
I wouldn't pick them to take it, but I think they'll win a couple of games.
Sure.
But I would pick Gonzaga. That's my hometown team. I love Gonzaga. I root for them in every game except when they're playing BYU.
I was gonna say.
And I think Gonzaga has a great chance. Kansas obviously also looks good. And the truth is, I'm a little out of the loop with basketball, unfortunately, because this is running for governor is all encompassing.
Well, let's bring Sally in. She's going to come around, but in the meantime,
this show just got a lot better.
That's
right now with Sally jumping in.
That's right. So who's your team? Obviously, you're probably a Jazz fan.
Of course, yep.
But I don't know that they're doing so hot this year.
I think they're doing pretty well, but maybe a little underachieving. I honestly don't know. I've been to 2 games. The 2 games that I went to, they lost 1 and won 1. I love the Jazz. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love what they're doing, and I'm a big supporter of the Jazz.
Oh, good. Sally, he put green olives on this. So for me, I'm out. Are you a green olive fan?
I like them, yeah.
Do you?
This is like Italian style,
it's something.
I think it looks delicious. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, so if elected, you would become the First Lady of Utah.
Yes.
What would you focus on during your tenure as First Lady?
Well, I am super passionate about education. Chad, I taught 2nd grade.
I didn't know that.
I did before we had kids, and I always dreamed of being a teacher. When I was a little girl, I would come home from school and play school. And
she would even have like fake parent-teacher conferences,
Yeah.
Chad. This
Oh,
is
wow.
like the whole
the
thing.
whole thing,
Yeah.
the real deal. I'd make up a roll of first and last names made up.
Wow.
Would you do PE with your kids, like stretch out
I
and
didn't do PE, no.
jazzercise?
I didn't do PE, but
Okay.
See, I was the other way. When I would play school, I would skip. I'd be like, all right, I'm skipping school, and we'd go do something. We'd go do something else.
It's all recess.
Right. Yeah, no, that was my dream. So I did teach, and I loved it. I love education. I'm passionate about the children of Utah.
Sure.
And I want them all to have someone who believes in them, and I want them to have the tools they need to succeed. Every child deserves an opportunity to succeed.
Yeah, that's very important. I'm a huge fan and a big proponent of technical and career education.
We need to pull more of that into our
I didn't
schools.
go and get a degree. I went to culinary school. My wife, although graduated from BYU with a degree in food science, got a degree in culinary school. My daughters and my son will go to college, but they will also get some kind of a certificate where they learn how to cook. Or Maddie will graduate with a certificate in welding, and so that's important to me as well. Just making sure that like you said, every kid has the tools they need.
We need innovation in education.
Well, let's eat.
In Utah,
Let's get some
that's
pizza.
for sure. We need to bring the trades back into high schools. What were you going to say, Sam?
I was just going to say, you just said this. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different path to success. We just need to provide the tools
You bet.
that are there.
Chad, you're not going to try this?
I'm gonna.
Come on, man. This looks delicious.
I'll snag one of this guy right here.
Let's let your viewers decide. The hundreds of thousands of viewers.
Yeah. I think
look at this, people. This is
I
the
don't know.
best.
You
right
probably have
here.
more than I do.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, this is messy.
It's a messy one.
It's good.
All I can taste is the green olive.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
If you know anything about me, you know I don't like olives.
Fat Daddy's Pizza in Provo. Best pizza. What did you say, Sal, when you walked in?
I said it smells so good in here.
It's the best place to get
Well,
pizza.
good. Well, we certainly appreciate it. I probably got sauce all over my face. We appreciate you taking some time out and talking
Fun
with
to
us
be
today.
here.
Just the one takeaway that our viewers can take from you.
Yeah, this election is between one political outsider, Jeff Birmingham, and 5 career politicians. We need politically unentangled leadership to lead Utah in the next decade. We need a fresh perspective. What is the value of a fresh perspective? It is immense. It's what we need in Utah right now, and that's why I'm running for governor.
All right. Thanks so much for your time.
Fresh perspective, fresh pizza.
Thanks so much.